What's up, YouTube? It's Ask the Young One with CreateHigherVibrations.com. Today I wanted to do a quick video and talk about coaching and talk about life coaching and therapy, online therapy, and some things like that. It's really it's very dear to my heart when it comes to this, because not a lot of people are in this for the passion. Not a lot of people are in it for the change for humanity, the actual change to help other people. And this isn't directed at any specifics. It's just a trend that I'm seeing, not only just in the transformational community that I'm in and other places, but there's other very high profile people that are going through this similar thing, where people are really copying off of people and focusing on other people's vulnerabilities to try and promote themselves as a coach. And these things are kind of bothersome, and this is why it gets to me a little bit, because there's a big difference between someone doing life coaching as an absolute life passion, as this journey has kind of led them to that point, and it's like doing it as a calling rather than doing it because it's trendy, because you get an aha moment or you gain some intellect and suddenly now you're a life coach. And those are very two different things, and it can be extremely dangerous in situations. And I wanted to kind of touch on some things, because when you're dealing with people that are extremely vulnerable, it takes a lot of depth of compassion and a lot of holding the space, which is holding that space of compassion for someone else, and a lot of understanding and a lot of patience and a lot of knowing what to do. It gets real when someone is in a highly abusive relationship with children, and they're in another country and they reach out to a life coach and in the US or somewhere different, and the life coach doesn't understand the person's culture. Instead, they understand only from a trendy coaching perception of advice that they're going to attempt to give someone, and it can get very dangerous because it can change how that other person responds to things. When someone contacts you and they're suicidal, or someone contacts you and they're facing a terminal illness and you don't know what to do because you're in it for the wrong reasons, it's going to get dangerous and people are going to get hurt from it. And so it really gets to me, like it really touches me in a deep part of my heart whenever I hear about these things, and I hear about other people that have reached out to the trendy life coaching coaches, and they're actually more damaged than when they were before. Or the person that's terminally ill has completely lost all will to fight because this other person had no way of knowing how to connect with them, or know how to process that for them, to know how to change the outlook, to know how to reframe it in a different way that can create a more fighting spirit, to create a more positive outlook for someone. Because when you focus completely in a place of lack, when you focus completely in the darkness of the place, that's what's going to continue to happen in the mindset. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that I believe are good traits of good coaches, and a few things that are bad traits of bad coaches, and kind of just pass this along. It's kind of like, someone's able to coach a coach. That's a very positive thing. And so I'm gonna list off some of the things that I believe are extremely important to look for in coaches, in therapists, and how you go about your healing, how you going about getting unstuck in these places of life that you're stuck in. And you certainly helps if you're going to hire someone to to get you through these things, that they don't keep you stuck in them, that they understand how to pull the strengths that you have inside of you out of you, that they know how to not direct you to live their life through their perception, but to pull. You want someone that's going to pull this out of you, because that's where your growth's going to come from. It's not going to come from a coach telling you what to do. So some of the things that I believe are extremely important when you're looking for a coach and looking for a life coach is one that's going to use their experience, their actual life experiences, that they've been where you've been, that they can understand it in their own logic, and will use a positive way to help you reframe with understanding and patience on how you can bring yourself out of the certain situations. They will use their own life experiences, and that's again the kind of the meaning of life coaches. But they have to have been there. They have to have done the work themselves. And it's very important to understand that a coach can only coach you at the level of awareness that they are at. They can't coach you from any other level of awareness than where they're at. If they're a coach that's below the veil, doing it for trendy reasons, they're going to coach you at that level, and that's about as much as you're going to get out of it. And they're going to probably usually use some of the things that other coaches do. They're going to copy, they're going to imitate, they're going to imposter, they're going to attempt to use strategies that they themselves actually do not even understand because they've never experienced it. And so it's very important to watch these things, because it's going to leave you in a place that is worse than where you are at. And it's just, I can't stress that enough. I don't know, I guess I'm going in the direction now of what to look for in bad coaching more than what to look for in a good coach. So I'll keep going with that a little bit on a few things. Like I said before, most coaches are going to be in this because it's a passion, it's a life calling, it's what energizes them to get up and do what they do every day. It's what helps them in their own growth, because that's what they want to do. And so their main focus is really, it's going to come from a humanity standpoint rather than a business outlook. Now I'm not saying that a business standpoint, I mean, it's all business when it comes down to things. I mean, a coach, even coaches have to live. And so that's going to be a different subject that I'll go into maybe a little bit later in this one. But if their first priority is business and not really caring about anything other than the payment, it's going to be a bad sign. The second things are that they're going to leave you more anxious. They're going to leave you feeling worse than what you were when you started talking to them. They're going to drain you. They're not going to provide the services that a life coach is meant to provide. And especially with transformational coaches, like people that advertise themselves as transformational coaches that haven't transformed themselves is a train wreck waiting to happen for the people that they're working with. And so it's very important to understand how you feel after sessions with the coach. If you're not feeling that it's going to work, if it's not the direction that you want to go with your own desires, not the coach's desires, then it would behoove you to probably really try to find someone that will get you to what you want and the direction that you want to go in life. So that's extremely important. Some of the other, and this will probably be the last thing, because I'm not here to bash people or coaches. I don't know every coach's style. I just know some of the things that don't help people evolve. The goal is to transformation and evolve as a person, because if we don't evolve, then we don't move forward in our life, and we stay stuck. We just stay in that endless cycle. And if you got a coach that's in that endless cycle, you're going to stay in it as well. And so this one thing is extremely important, is coaches that tend to give advice rather than challenge their clients in a constructive way. When a coach can only give you advice on what to do, they're literally wanting to tell you how to live your life through their perception, and that's bad. That's not good. So when a person can only create advice on what to do, that's what they would do. That's not necessarily what you would do or what you should do or what you're meant to do. That's their path. Their advice is their perception of things, and they can give you direction and really try to work with you for you to see your own conclusions. It's really important, rather than giving advice to just go do something. Because a lot of times when coaches work with people on advice only, they're going to get angry, they're going to get defensive, they're going to get frustrated, because they're going to work from their own ego if you don't take their advice, or if their advice doesn't pan out for you because it's not your path, it's theirs. Then they're going to get defensive on that, and they're going to probably act like it's something on you, which is then going to create more problems for yourself. And so now I'm going to cover a couple of traits that I would actually look for in a life coach. And one of them, the very first one, is the actual passion. A coach will have passion for what they're doing. They will have, first and foremost, beyond anything else, the passion for change and to help others in humanity get through some of the crises that they've been through. And that will probably be one of the most important driving focuses of it, beyond the business aspect, beyond the other aspects. So that's a very important thing to look for. And one of the things that I think is important when it comes to that is look these coaches up on their social media. Look at the things that they post on Instagram. Look at the things that they post on their Facebook. Look at what they do. Do they bring positivity to the rest of their platforms? And that's, if they do, then that's, chances are that's what they're going to bring to your sessions, and they're going to do the things that they can do to help you, because that is truly their passion. It is their calling. And it's not about, it's a much bigger thing than being trendy or trying to make a lot of money being a life coach. There's so many more important things than being trendy as a coach. Number two, and this one, I have to take a breath on, because it's extremely important to understand, to look for these things in a coach. And that one of it is allowing their clients to stay in a victim mindset. When you have a good life coach, they are going to want to work to change that as quickly as possible, because they know themselves that there's not a lot going to come from a place of fear and self-doubt for either person. The coach won't be able to do a lot of their own job if a person is relying on this victim mindset and still living in this place of fear and self-doubt. So with that, and especially when you're dealing with people that are extremely vulnerable coming out of toxic relationships, it takes a lot of patience and understanding from the coach's part. But know that a good coach will move this around to really bring a more positive perception to the situation, and they will want to just making sure I try to word these things correctly, like, and it's just important because as long as we stay in this below the veil without opening our minds somewhat, it's not going to do the person any good. And that's going to be, the coach. It's up to the coach to kind of bring that out and help change that. The other really important thing, especially with people early on in their vulnerabilities, is absolute deep listening. One of the biggest forms of compassion is deep listening for people, and understanding that how important that is for the client and for the coach to do, and be present, be absolutely present and grounded within the session for the client. And what this does, when a coach is able to do this, it shows that they're present with the client, and that is going to give the client the things that they're paying the coach for. The coach can then ask positive, constructive challenges or questions to the client to help the client pull their own strengths out of themselves, to see their own conclusions, because that's where the client will get their power. The power doesn't come from do this because this is what I see. The power comes when the coach can pull a person's own power out of themselves. And that's extremely, extremely important. It's holding the space for someone else while they work through some of these things. And a coach will be your biggest cheerleader. They should not leave you drained, negative, or focusing on the negatives. And it's extremely important to realize that, and to kind of see that when you're talking to a coach for the first time. Again, look at what they do on social media. Look at how they make their videos. Do they sound the same as they do in their videos, or are they different people? Is there a duality between what they look like on video and how they sound and do things in a session? Those are very important things. You don't want someone that is wearing a mask on a video and going in a completely different direction for you in sessions that you're now paying for. So those are some of the things. It's just very important to understand these things. And like I said, it's coming up not only just in the communities that I'm in on YouTube, but it's coming up, on a much bigger scale. Like, I'm in some pretty big conscious communities with some decent and good, really high profile mentors, and they're seeing a lot of the same problems. And it's something that I really felt passionate about to speak on. It just, do your due diligence when you're working with people. Again, a good coach is not going to keep their job is not to keep you in that loop. Their job is to help you begin to evolve. And I know for me, I focus a lot of times, if someone else has that passion to help others, and they have that passion to break that victim consciousness, and they have compassion within themselves. I've had people ask me, do you think I could be helped? Do you think I could do this? Do you think I could help others? And I absolutely 100% push them to follow whatever has come up for them in their path to follow. That's what we would want. More people that can help people and actually make change within people. So I wanted to make this video. It's almost 20 minutes now. The last thing I'll cover is payments, because I do see a lot of people that complain about life coaches that ask for money, or life coaches that want to get paid, and something's bad about that. And that's absolutely not true, and it's not bad. It's a life coach that understands the law the universal laws and the law of abundance, a life coach cannot bring their all if they're living impoverished. They can't give because then it will drain themselves. Life is energy. Everything is energetically flowing in this world. The trees around me have energy within them, and they're flowing around me. These things are happening. Humans are nothing but energy inside of a formed body. These things are happening. And when it comes to understanding the law of abundance, you have to be able to give and receive things. There has to be a balance. And it's kind of like anything else in life. If you pay for what you get in a lot of ways, it's, if you have a job, selling cars, because the person needs the car, the person has to pay for the car. And if you hire a life coach that is good, then they're going to give you the things that you need to move forward in your journey, to propel you forward in your journey, to help you not stay stuck, to help you heal, to help you move on, to walk that dark road with you. So you're gaining, and they're giving and receiving. It's no different. So I hope people understand that. And it's, again, it comes back to, for a coach to do what they're doing, they have no choice but to charge. Many coaches spend a lot of time doing a lot of free things, and spending a lot of time doing things that they don't get paid for. So it's like, I hope people don't attack those things, especially in the people that don't understand what they're attacking. So with that said, I wanted to make this video and talk a little bit about that, and just do your due diligence. And especially when it comes to online therapy, I noticed in my group some people were asking about online therapy and really looking for the cheapest therapy they could get. And just understand, depending on what you're needing therapy for, to me, this is my opinion personally, again, a therapist can only give you at the level of awareness that they're at. They can study books and do the things and learn how to be good at understanding. And these really come from deep listening. And some of them are good at that, some of them are not. But, again, if you're going to pay and you truly want the changes, then you're going to do what it takes. And you're going to find the right person. You're going to attract the person into your life that is needed. And that's how that as far as I'll go with that. If not, you'll learn more lessons through it. But with that, I will go ahead and jump off of here now. And if you have any comments, suggestions, experiences with coaches, go ahead and list them in the comments. And if you're looking to do one-on-one coaching or group coaching or family coaching, whatever it is, you can contact me through my website, or you can email me directly. I'll put that in the description. If this video helps you, share it, please. And from there, I will go for now. I appreciate you all, and thank you for watching. And please subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate anyone that watches anything that I have to say. So it's a very wonderful state of gratitude, and I appreciate it again. So have a good day. Namaste.